Leicester City, Michael Golding to Leicester, so new midfielder for Chelsea, Desbury Hall on a contract till 2030. Chelsea are still very busy on the market, so they are not done at all. We know they are looking for a winger, they are looking for a striker, they are looking also for a left-footed defender, a talented one, could be a centre-back, could be a left-back, but for sure Chelsea will be busy on several positions in this summer transfer window. But today we have to mention many things. I see many Arsenal fans. We also have to mention something about Riccardo Calafiori, because it's an important topic. And if you are following me on social media, but also here on Playback, you know I'm talking to you about Riccardo Calafiori since weeks as a possibility for Premier League clubs. But now we will enter into some details about that, thanks to all of you entering in the chat. I see a nice question from M Teacher saying, Doué to Spurs. It's true that Tottenham have a genuine interest in this boy. This is not something new. I mean, the interest is there. He's one of the players appreciated by Tottenham board. Desiree Doué is one of the best talents in his position. He's in the list of several clubs, also in the list of Tottenham. First of all, Tottenham have signed Archie Gray. Is official today, and is a wonderful signing for Tottenham. But it's also true that Desiree Doué is another player they are considering internally. They already expressed their interest to the agents of the player. So Desiree Doué is one to watch for Tottenham, but not only for Tottenham. Several clubs are following this boy. I also saw a question about the situation of Lenny Joro, and let me repeat, guys, what I'm always telling you, that Real Madrid keep working on the Lenny Joro deal. I know there is still no substantial update, but trust me, the negotiation is still on. Talks are still on between Real Madrid and Lille, because Real Madrid already have the green light from the player. Lenny Joro wants to go to Real Madrid, and so it's between the clubs. He's on Real Madrid's side now to decide what they want to do, but the conversation is still ongoing between Lenny Joro and Real Madrid. I saw a question on Mika Faye, and let me clarify, was a situation of Mika Faye at a centre-back of Barcelona, because we heard reports of a done deal between Barca and Porto last week. It was never a done deal, guys, because there was a big gap, big difference between Porto proposal and Barcelona request. What I'm hearing is that Barcelona always wanted the following: 15, 16 million euros guaranteed fee with fast payment, 1 or 2 solutions, so not in 5 or 6 years. This was the priority. Then buyback clause for Mika Faye to keep the control on the player at least for the first 2 years, summer 25, summer 26, for something around 30-32 million euros. So 15-16 guaranteed, 30-32 million euros buyback clause, and also a big sell-on clause as part of the agreement to keep the potential control of the future of the player. Porto were offering way less than this. So there was never an agreement between the two clubs. They were in negotiations, but was never agreed. This is the reality for the situation of Mika Faye, and Mika Faye received a call. He's been already in contact for recent weeks with the new manager of Barcelona, Hansi Flick, but it's true that he received the call directly from Hansi Flick, who trusts Mika Faye. So in case they receive a big proposal, Barca could accept because of the financial situation, but unless they receive what they want, 15-16 million euros plus buyback clause around 30-32, Barca are more than happy to keep Mika Faye at the club. And Hansi Flick already spoke directly to the player, and Hansi Flick believes that Mika Faye can be part of the first team at Barcelona. Absolutely, even if he didn't debut yet at the club. So keep an eye on the situation of Mika Faye, because he has very good chances to stay at Barcelona in the summer, unless they receive an important proposal. Then guys, let me see some of your questions. I see many questions on Victor Osimhen. Let me say on Osimhen before touching on Calafiori, on the Ligt. On Osimhen, I wanted to tell you that I expect movement on Victor Osimhen this month, so in July, because Napoli still expect clubs to move around Victor Osimhen. We know many clubs are still looking for a striker, and so I think there could be things happening for Victor Osimhen in July or maybe in August, but the idea is for Osimhen still to leave Napoli in this summer transfer window. So at the moment, still nothing concrete, but in terms of movement, things could happen for Victor Osimhen. And Napoli priority as a striker remains Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea. So let's see what's going to happen there, but for sure Victor Osimhen will be one to watch in the upcoming weeks. Then on Atletico Madrid, guys, Alvaro Morata is staying. It was an exclusive news today. Alvaro Morata decided to stay despite an important proposal he received from Saudi, from Al Qadsiya, the same club that signed Nacho. So that's the situation. On Palhinha, I see Bayern fans asking about Palhinha and Xavi Simons, and also Marseille fans asking about Valentin Carboni. It's true that Olympique Marseille really appreciate Valentin Carboni. It's not easy to structure the deal with Inter. Also, he's now focused on the Copa America, so after the Copa America, we will see what happens, but the interest is genuine. Roberto De Zerbi really appreciates the player. On Bayern, negotiations for Palhinha continue. Negotiations are still ongoing with Fulham. Palhinha now, even in public, is really pushing to go into Bayern, but trust me, in private, Palhinha is trying in every way to make the deal happen. So negotiations still ongoing with Joe Palhinha. And for Xavi Simons, still waiting on the decision of the player, guys. More than the financial agreement, the crucial part is what Xavi Simons will decide. And Xavi Simons will decide where he goes after the Euros, not now. So that's the situation. Leipzig are still there. Bayern are pushing like crazy. I'm told that Bayern are literally calling every single day to make this deal happen. So Bayern are really trying, are obsessed in a positive way with Xavi Simons, but still have to reach an agreement and get the green light from the player because Leipzig are still there. And so we will see what happens with this story. Do Liverpool have a chance of signing Anthony Gordon this summer? Thanks for your question, Adam Azed, my friend. Possibility, absolutely, I would say is always possible because, if you make a big proposal, yes. But Liverpool, when they had a direct contact with Newcastle about Anthony Gordon in the past week, in a moment that was really difficult for Newcastle on the financial fair play, Newcastle asked for big money, and for Liverpool, that was way too much. So if there is a normal price, an acceptable price, Gordon remains a player really appreciated by Liverpool. And Gordon was keen on joining Liverpool. So there is a feeling between Anthony Gordon and Liverpool. That's very clear, a very positive feeling. But Liverpool will not pay completely crazy money. So if Newcastle drop the price, that could be a possibility. But now Newcastle have fixed their problems with financial fair play by selling Yankuba Minte, by also completing the deal for Elliot Anderson to join Nottingham Forest. So that's it at the moment. On Joshua Zirkzee, guys, I see many of your questions. Let me explain that for Milan, it's still the same. So there is still no update on Milan because Milan still have this problem with commissions. Milan don't want to pay the commissions wanted by the agent of the player. And so that's the stumbling block for Milan. It remains a situation, no changes. On Manchester United have been in regular contact with the agents of Joshua Zirkzee, even this week. Manchester United, let me explain to you guys on Joshua Zirkzee. For Manchester United, it's kind of easy deal, Joshua Zirkzee, but really easy because in terms of financials, it's not that expensive for Manchester United budget. The budget Man United have for the striker is absolutely in line with the release clause of Joshua Zirkzee, 40 million euros, valid now, valid till beginning of August. So they have plenty of time and they have financials to make the deal happen. But the real point is what Manchester United want to do internally. Erik ten Hag appreciates the player. Other people into the club also rate and appreciate Joshua Zirkzee. Now Man United have to decide with all the people involved in the club. It means not just the owners, but also Dan Ashworth, who signed yesterday in Manchester United, Jason Wilcox, who is already at the club, now Christopher Vivel, Omar Berrada, all together, they have to decide. The striker is an important position, and they have to decide what they want to do with Zirkzee. But Man United have everything in line if they want to proceed, because they know about the salary, and it's not a crazy salary, so it's something that they can afford. They know about the commissions, they know about the release clause, so for Man United, it's not a complicated deal. It's about deciding when and if they want to proceed. But contacts are active and the interest is there. So for sure, Zirkzee remains an option for Manchester United, similar to the situation of Ugarte. Because Manchester United made contact with PSG, they have the okay from the player, but still waiting to understand what they want to do internally. For Ugarte, the crucial point is also to understand what happens with the outgoings in that position, because, for example, Casemiro is a player who is still expected to leave the club. Cacio, I see asking for Italian fans, but I see you are a Juventus fan, and for Juventus fans, the Here We Go is coming soon for Kefren Turam. Juventus are closing in on this deal with Nice, 20 million euros plus add-ons. So Kefren Turam and Juventus is really, really, really close and moving to the final stages. Kingsley Coman to PSG. At the moment, my friend, on that one, I have nothing really concrete. Then. We want Calafiori. I'm coming with Calafiori news. Don't worry. We will keep you posted on everything. And also Matthijs de Ligt. We have also something to say on Matthijs de Ligt. With Tottenham, I see many Tottenham fans. Guys, I told you that the interest in Desiree Doué is absolutely confirmed. He's not the only player they are tracking, but one of the players they are considering. What about Alvaro Morata? Morata has decided to stay at Atletico Madrid. Exclusive news from today. So that's the situation. Let me see. Dortmund interest in Ryan Cherki concrete. Yes, they are interested in Cherki. They believe he's a top talent. Tottenham already made contact on player side. They still don't have a full agreement with Olympique Lyon because Lyon want an important percentage on future sale of Ryan Cherki. So this is one of the points they are discussing club to club, but interest is concrete. Dortmund are in the race, and Dortmund also made contact on player side. So after Anton and after Serhou Guirassy, Dortmund are also working on a deal for Ryan Cherki. Then, what are the chances for Alphonso Davies to be a Real Madrid player? My friend, the road to dawn, thank you for your message. But it's still the same situation for Alphonso Davies. Real Madrid are waiting for him to make a decision on the contract. In case Alphonso Davies ends up staying at Bayern with the contract expiring next summer, for Real Madrid, there can be also a possibility to sign Alphonso Davies next summer, 2025, as a free agent. So Real Madrid always been very clear on their position, and you know how Real Madrid work. So Real Madrid do the deal at their conditions. So if Bayern put Alphonso Davies on the market on a fair price, like 30 million euros, Real Madrid will be there. Otherwise, they will be more than happy to wait for one more season and sign him as free agent potentially, because it's still not something guaranteed, but to wait for him as free agent, let's say like this. Then it's possible for Chelsea to go back into the Osimhen race. My friend, is still early on the market, and Osimhen is still a player who is available on the market. So I still expect movement around Osimhen. So Chelsea left the conversations weeks ago, almost 1 month ago, but Osimhen remains on the market, and Chelsea keep looking for a striker. So let's see. I can't exclude anything at this point of the market. It's still July. This is not end of August. So Osimhen, my feeling is still that Victor Osimhen has to leave Napoli and wants to leave Napoli. This is the absolute feeling. So things could happen there. And same answer also to Adrian about Chelsea and Osimhen. On Faye, we already decided. Let me tell you something on Riccardo Calafiori. Because, guys, if you're following the live streams here, you heard already weeks ago and days ago, and I keep repeating that Arsenal and Chelsea, both clubs, are interested in Riccardo Calafiori. Arsenal really appreciate Calafiori. This is the reality. This is something shared by board and manager. So the appreciation for Calafiori from Arsenal is very clear. Arsenal are looking for that kind of player, left-footed. Let's say that Arsenal and Chelsea are looking for a similar player. So has to be left-footed, could play in similar position, left-back, but also centre-back. Calafiori did fantastic as a centre-back. On the league, I'm going to tell you in a minute. But Calafiori did fantastic as a centre-back this season at Bologna, but he historically was a left-back. And we know that in Premier League, left-back could be more defensive, especially in these big clubs. So for Arsenal, is an option for sure. Is one of the names they have on the short list. Arsenal have still not presented an official bid for Calafiori, but Arsenal have confirmed their interest in the player. So Arsenal are there. Calafiori is one of the players they consider as a target for this summer. And then there is Chelsea. Chelsea, as I told you multiple times, will bring in a new left-footed, talented defender, and Riccardo Calafiori is one of the names they have in their shortlist. To say that Chelsea already offered a contract to Calafiori with a big salary, first of all, Chelsea are not offering crazy salaries this summer. This is very clear. This is why no Lise, no Nico Williams so far. So that's the point. But also, for Riccardo Calafiori, no super big salary is needed. He's on a normal salary at Bologna. So it's not about the salary. It's about understanding whether the player wants to go to Chelsea or not. It's about Champions League football, for example, and many other factors. So both Arsenal and Chelsea know that the player wanted to go to Juventus. The reality is that Calafiori, since March, April, February, always gave his priority to Juventus, but Bologna don't want to sell the player to Juventus because the relationship between the two clubs is complicated after the Thiago Motta story. So Bologna will make life difficult for Juventus. The player would like to go to Juve, so let's see what happens between clubs. But meanwhile, Bologna are hoping for Premier League clubs to enter the race, and the two Premier League clubs who are entering the race are Arsenal and Chelsea. In a different way, with different idea, but both Arsenal and Chelsea are in the race for Riccardo Calafiori. That's the reality. I see many questions on Tottenham. Tottenham have been scouting him this season. He did fantastic. So Tottenham have been following the player, but at the moment have still not presented any formal proposal. So that's the point with Tottenham. You didn't say anything new. My friend, we said about Calafiori for first time you heard about Arsenal and Calafiori and Chelsea and Calafiori was here. I don't think you heard it somewhere else. Now you will see that everywhere. But trust me, that Arsenal and Chelsea are both really interested in Calafiori and both working on this one in terms of still not presenting proposals, but making contact to understand the conditions of the deal. And then I see PSG news soon, my friend. Soon we will give you some update. At the moment, still nothing imminent. Then Let me see. Okay. No, I wanted to complete the stream, guys, by mentioning, I see many of your questions. Thank you. Ramaduana, nothing else. Kudus, the release clause expired. Release clause £85 million expired for Mo Kudus. So West Ham really hope to keep him at the club. I wanted to say something on the situation of Matthijs de Ligt, because Matthijs de Ligt and Manchester United is something that we mentioned here on the last live stream we did. I think it was Saturday afternoon. I told you Manchester United, I told you here on Playback, Man United made contact with the agent of the player, and it's a very positive exchange. What we can say today is that between Matthijs de Ligt and Manchester United, things are getting really serious, because Matthijs de Ligt has given an initial green light to Manchester United. He's open and keen on the move to Manchester United. Personal terms are not an issue. This is important to say, because the salary is not going to be a problem. The exchange between Manchester United and the agent of Matthijs de Ligt, Raffaella Pimenta, is very positive. So no problem is expected on personal terms. Matthijs de Ligt, even without Champions League football, is keen on the move to Manchester United. What's the point now? Let me clarify an important detail. The agent of the player, Pimenta, is only negotiating with Manchester United. So the Ligt at the moment is not negotiating with any other club and his agent, because the intention is to advance with Manchester United. This is an important point. Then now Manchester United and Bayern are in direct contact. Talks are taking place between the two clubs. Man United hope to agree for 50 million euros package is a possibility, but they want to include the dons. So they will try to be creative. They will try to negotiate for something maybe around 40 million euros plus add-ons, something like that. So this is going to be the start of the negotiation with Manchester United, including a creative structure of the deal with add-ons for Matthijs de Ligt. So he's a target, he's a strong target on Manchester United list. Now depends on the players, because the player, depends on the clubs, because the player is keen on the move to Manchester United. And so this story is getting concrete between Matthijs de Ligt and Manchester United. So we will follow that one, but for sure is getting concrete. Buongiorno, Napoli, negotiations ongoing also today between Napoli and Torino for Buongiorno. We said about the situation of Matthijs de Ligt. They are still negotiating how much is going to be the salary. I saw your question, Mir Sharial. I saw your question. They are still negotiating how much is going to be the salary, but the salary is not going to be an issue, and personal terms will not be an issue, because the Ligt is ready to come to Manchester United way in terms of salary. So it's not going to be a problem. Now, negotiations ongoing between clubs, and this is the crucial part of the story. We will keep you posted, guys, on all the latest also in the next days here on Playback, as you can see, with some quick lives, some long lives. So we're always here together. Remember to subscribe here on the channel on Playback, and remember to send in, as always, your questions. Thanks to all of you for all the messages. As soon as I will have something new, I will keep you posted here on Playback on all my platforms. See you soon.